All right, so it is that time again to recap what's been going on for the month. This is the month of September video. I'm a little bit late putting this out, I know. It's been a very busy time for me, just personally and professionally, and just a lot going on at the end of the summer, and I was also on vacation for 2 weeks, so I've been getting caught up on that. But I did still find time in September to play a bunch of games, and I wanted to go over and show you kind of like what I have had on the table and like what's coming up next month, especially because next month, aka this month, October, I will be at GMT Weekend at the Warehouse. And I'm very excited for that because I haven't been in a couple of years, and I told myself I wasn't going to go until my own design was out and published, and we are close enough that I feel like it's fair to to honor that promise to myself. So with that said, that's a great segue to what did I play in the month of September. Well, as you know, you saw from my unboxing, Seljuk, Byzantium, Besiege. I got the production copy here. This is my design for Levian campaign, 11th century Byzantine Empire. East Romans versus Seljuk Turks around the Battle of Manzikert. So I did a demo game of this at my local club with some people. We did a 3v3 learning game. Everyone seemed to really like it. One of the guys who was in there did a little after session report on BGG on the Seljuk forums, which I really appreciated. I didn't know he was going to do that, but we've been talking about getting this back to the table again. There's some people who have been wanting to play it, and I'm very, very happy about that. So I will be bringing this with me to the warehouse. Might still be the only copy in North America at the time when I do that, but I will be running it there or having it open for people to play if they want to come check it out. And I do want to get it back to the table with some more of my friends and people because I've been showing this, I've been taking it around, showing the final product, and it's very, very beautiful, very sort of honored and privileged to have received this and play it. So we played some Seljuk, Byzantium, Besiege. That's going to get a lot of coverage. I'm going to probably do a video on the channel. Someone asked if I could do sort of an example of play video, and I said, yeah, I'll do the first year, 1068, and I'll do it sort of done as the historical events and historical sort of decision-making and path to show kind of how the game works. So look for that on the channel soon. I got to get some table space cleared before that. Another game I played in September, Ming Voyages. This is a little small box game from the Pocket Campaign series of Surprise Stare Games. They're a UK designer and publishing house led by David J. Mortimer and Alan Paul. I have a bunch of their games, and I really do think that they are one of the most talented groups of people designing games that come in like tiny boxes and tiny footprints with really deep mechanics that are playable really quickly. So this is my favorite game of theirs. I also have 3 Sanchos, and I also have 13 Minutes, I think is what it's called, Twilight Squabble is what it's called, which is a Cold War game. So anyways, Ming Voyages, it's a 2-player card-driven game about Zheng He's voyages of the Chinese treasure fleet around the world. You're essentially playing dual-use cards. So one player's the barbarian, one player's the Chinese, and you're playing dual-use cards to either try and voyage your fleet as the Chinese or defend the Great Wall against incursions from barbarians, Mongols, and so forth. And then the barbarian player is trying to build up their armies and control a bunch of territory on the other side of the Great Wall. It's a very tense game. It plays very quickly. It's a very deeply tactical strategic game. I really, really like this game, and I should really get it to the table more. There's no excuse. I might bring this with me in my bag to GMT in case someone wants to play it. It's a fantastic game. I did last month, as you saw, get a chance to, or I was getting ready to play Poland Defiant. This is the 3 Crowns games, although published by Revolution, a game about the German invasion of Poland. And I played the Poles, and I ended up winning the game very narrowly at the end. This is a really good time. It's a really interesting situation. And I felt like this game is actually quite good. I still think Across the Narva is my favorite of the 3 Crowns design titles, but I think this one comes in at a pretty competitive second place. I liked it more than Königsberg, and you don't get a lot of games on this topic. I know VUCA's got one coming out that looks pretty good, but this was a blast. We finished it in sort of 5 hours, so half a day, and it's really nicely balanced and pretty tense. So yeah, highly recommend Poland Defiant from Revolution Games if you are interested in some early World War II action. I also played a game at our club of Westphalia. This is one of my favorite Hollandspiel games, and it's actually one of my favorite negotiation games as well. It was the first time for everyone except me, so I taught it. It's a game that is for exactly 6 players. You cannot play this game with any more or any less. And it is a negotiation game about ending the 30 Years' War at Westphalia, trying to come to the Treaty of Westphalia while the war is still going on. Each player plays one of the major powers of the 30 Years' War conflict, and you are trying to offload your debt to your enemies and to your allies, and hopefully win the game by meeting your victory condition. Each power has its own victory condition and kind of its own somewhat unique goals that they're going after, and you can win or lose as a team in this game, or you can have the whole, like, you can have like 5 players win, or if all players win, then there's one winner based on victory points. It's got a really unique set of like victory conditions. I really love Westphalia. It doesn't outstay its welcome. It's pretty short playing, plays in probably 2.5 hours, but it's a really fun time, and we enjoyed that. I also got some more Red Sash to the table. This is not the game I played. This is a copy of Army of Flanders, specifically the second box, which has all the maps in it. But I didn't have anything else to hold up. I got a chance to play Remember Limerick in September, which is about the Glorious Revolution in Ireland between James II and William of Orange. That is a one-map Lace Wars game that has some really cool like political control elements to it. I was teaching the system to a friend. We made some mistakes, and we were missing some components, actually, out of his box. So we decided to table it, and we're going to pick it up again and start over with a sort of scenario that's like deeper into the conflict. But he really liked it, and I really liked it as well. It was nice to experience some face-to-face Lace Wars with a game that I had not played. And of course, Remember Limerick takes place right at the beginning of the war, the 9 Years' War, which, if you've been watching my Army of Roussillon playthrough, is happening at that same time. So it's quite interesting to see another front to that conflict. Lastly, in September, I got a chance to play, and we're continuing to play, Operation Typhoon. This is the new Decision Games version, which is a reprint of the SPI version with bigger counters and bigger maps, and a really nicely done graphics package, but essentially unchanged from the SPI version from 1978. Now, I had never played Operation Typhoon, but I really, really liked this sort of variable, untested strength chit system that was made popular by Operation Typhoon, Victory in the West, and so forth. And we are playing this as a 3-player game. So we've got 2 German players. I am the Germans in the South, and I have a friend who's playing the Germans in the North versus 1 Soviet player. And we are using the SPI version simply for space reasons. This game, the reprint, because it went to 5/8" counters and it went to and increased the hex size, it went from 3 maps in 1978, which is what we're playing on, to 4 regular size maps and 4 half maps. So technically 8 sheets, but it was a huge space commitment that we didn't actually have room for, even at the club. Though I do want to play this game with this version. First of all, I'm really, really enjoying it. I think it's a really excellent design. I can see why it's some people's favorite game of all time, why it is highly regarded. It is a fascinating, phenomenal game that is kind of... The combat system is actually, I think, really good. It introduces a lot of fog of war in the combat system, so you can't optimize what you're doing, and you also can't optimize your activity because you're rolling for different armies on the German side to see how many how much activity each sort of sector is going to get, and so it kind of varies widely turn to turn. It's a really awesome game. We are about 12 turns into the 31-turn campaign, and I'm having an absolute blast. So Operation Typhoon, one of these days I will get the full 8-map monster to the table with the Decision Games version. I think graphically it is a huge step up, but still a very quality game, and so if you can play Operation Typhoon at any point, you definitely should. So that's what I played in September. Let's talk about what I am going to be playing in October. So I will be going to GMT weekend at the warehouse. I'm very excited for that, like I said, and I have some plans while I'm there. I'm going to be bringing Seljuk, so we'll have that on the table. I'm also going to try and maybe find a few pickup games, but the main event, the main show that I'm going to be playing while I'm there is Mistral. This is also from Red Sash Games. This is the War of the Austrian Succession at Sea, the Mediterranean Theater, 1739 to 1748. So this is going to cover essentially the Mediterranean, the Western Mediterranean, between Italy and Spain while the War of Austrian Succession is happening, primarily covering sort of the Italian front of that conflict. This is a naval operational game. I know I did mention this last week, but it's a naval operational game set during this time period. One player is going to be playing France and her allies, and the other is going to be playing Britain and her allies. I'm playing it with Steve Carey, the designer of several Blind Swords titles for Revolution. He's played it before. I have not. I have to read the rule book. I'm going to do that before I show up, but we think it's doable in one day. It is one map. And I'm very keen to get into this. I've been very impressed with Lace Wars modeling. If you haven't had a chance, go check out my interview with Ian Weir, who's the designer of Mistral and Remember Limerick, and in fact designs almost all the games for Red Sash Games because it's his company. And I'm very excited to play this. So very, very excited for Mistral. The other game that I'm going to be playing at GMT's weekend at the warehouse that I'm extremely excited for is Congress of Vienna. Now, I have had this for several months. I still have not been able to get it to the table. I'm going to have to read the rules, but everything I've seen and heard about this game looks excellent. I really like Churchill, and I'm excited for a game that uses that system in a more conflict-oriented environment. I know there are some subtleties about how you play the different factions in here, and I think most of us playing at GMT are going to be first-time or second-time players, so I'm very excited to dig into this. This is obviously a 4-player diplomacy, negotiation, and war in Europe from 1813 to 1814, sort of after the invasion of Russia, towards the tail end of Napoleon's tenure as the Emperor of France. The other players are going to be the Russians, the Austrians, and the British and their allies. And it's a card game slash war game of competing priorities. So if you've played like Churchill, you kind of get an understanding of what it is. Very excited for that. And then lastly, not affiliated with GMT's Weekend at the Warehouse, but a game that I will be playing in October, and spoilers, I actually have played it. I played it a couple days ago. China's War by Brian Train. This is the newest volume of the Coin series. This is the conflict in China from 1937 to 1941. You've got 4 players: the nationalist Chinese government, the Japanese, the communist Chinese, and the independent warlords of China, all fighting over resources and control of the country. I played the Japanese. We played it the other night, and you're going to have to stay tuned until next month to hear my thoughts on this. But Brian Train is my favorite coin designer in the whole series. A Distant Plain is my favorite game, my favorite coin game by far. So I'm excited to see what he's done here. I know none of this history, and I really appreciate his ability to sort of interlock multi-faction objectives and stuff in all of his games. So I'm curious to see how China's War turns out. And it looks really nice, the artwork and stuff on it. Been very excited for this for a while, and played, I'm not fooling anyone, right? Played with someone who's very well-versed in Chinese history, so it was quite interesting. So yeah, come back next month for my thoughts on China's War. That's what we got for the September update. I will be back next month to kind of recap some of the stuff I played at GMT, and for November to let you know what I'm going to be playing at San Diego HISCON, because I will also be down there, also with Seljuk in tow, and I'm very excited to see some familiar faces at that convention. Thank you as always for watching and supporting the channel. I haven't put up as much content normally as I have this month as I do normally, and that's just because I've been so busy. So it's probably going to continue. It will be sporadic content, but thank you for everyone who sticks around and supports. So I'll see you next time.